So now we got the ready out, ready for the responses. No, no, not yet. No. So, Roush, I have not had the pleasure of actually watching either of these two teams compete. Are you like usual? Are you in the middle, modest? Do you just want to see a good game, or are you leaning towards somebody here?
I'm gonna go ahead and to say that I haven't actually seen had the pleasure of seeing these teams match up a whole lot. I have seen a little bit of Amarok's gameplay and also a little bit of Molecular's gameplay, but I'm just out here to have a good time. You know, we're out here to cast for you guys. Uh, Definitely love to see you guys rooting for your favorite teams. Um, and I'm just hoping to see a good game. We'll see the first ban here come out, and from Molecular banning Thatcher, and that's definitely a very original ban.
Absolutely. You see him go out a lot in comp play and in ranked play, as you know, he's such a vital aspect to getting into places. Next, you see Capital go down, which is very important here in this map. Goyo is next. I don't understand that one all too much, personally. May have been just a throwaway pick as they're defending. And then Mira. Mira is super important. You can play her there into study, looking out their balcony door, and you can take so much push away out of that OBJ, including it's a necessity pick, a necessity ban on this map tenfold.
Definitely. Also, they're into trophy. I have seen a couple of teams get matched up, actually utilizing that that Mira into trophy, kind of looking into. I'm sorry, I believe it's called statuary. My bad. Looking into master bedroom there, kind of as there's a lot of windows to kind of watch angles through that closet, through those master bedroom windows. So definitely interesting to see Mira being banned here, not able to make any of those style of plays. We're gonna see molecular, excuse me, here on the defense, as they're going to go ahead and go right into that trophy statuary and get ready to defend for the first round of this game.
Absolutely. You see here kind of the basic push minus. You see a little gridlock here. She's always vile because you can get that plant down, throw her gridlocks out, and it's just a rough time. Feet getting poked at, blood going everywhere. You hear him screaming. It's a bad time. Zofia, IQ, Habana, and Sledge are kind of more of your basic operators. Everyone loves them. Everybody uses them. Their guns are some of the best in the game, if not, and that's why they have such a high pick rate. On the other side of things, you see a Wamai, a Valkyrie, a Smoke, a Jaeger, and a Mute. Mute's really helpful with the room denial of drones. Keeps your people a little bit safer because they don't know where the heck you are. Valkyrie gives you some intel. Wamai and Jaeger, obviously, everybody knows what they do. They just keep stuff from blowing up and people going blind from the flashbangs. So we start here. We're about 40 seconds into the first round of this map, and we have yet to see anything go on besides some driving around of drones. I don't think anybody from Molecular has made it into the building yet. They are still taking the time to gather their intel.
As definitely see a lot of drones going out here. Like to see this drone work in that map. Definitely a map you need to drone out, as well as every other one. Definitely intel, one of the biggest things in this game. Give your team the upper hand. If you have that intel, you can definitely make plays that the other team without the intel cannot. We're going to go ahead and see maybe a gunfight here between two of the operators. Here, Sledge being played by Peekers there. Doing what he does best. Go ahead and peeking that that smoke, being played by Silver. on Team Molecular. Here, it doesn't look like we're seeing any sort of pushes here, as we're now past the halfway point in the round. Sludge going to go ahead and take down some of the barbed wire, but not a whole lot of push here from Amarok. And Molecular just sitting back, enjoying. There is one. Krill's going to go ahead and take down Slinky from Amarok. Now, first match there. Snake finding one, trading out for Link. And it's now still a 4v4 as they now have less than a minute left. Amarok less than a minute to push into there and plant. But there's a grenade, beautiful grenade by Peekers, as he doesn't actually peek, just decides to throw the grenade and wins that grenade fight. Here now Kelly trying to peek a couple of members of the Amarok team. And there Vari's going to find one onto Soku. Here now a 3v3 situation. Still no plant going down. Very finding a second one onto Neo.
15 seconds to go.
Now 10 seconds left to play. Peekers is now down. Snake the only one up left standing, as he's going to find one onto Very. Here IQ running into the statuary room, and he's going to get taken out by a member of Molecular. And that will be the first round going to Molecular.
But it does look like what I was hoping wouldn't happen is we're going to have a rehost, as our wonderful observer noticed that they were rocking the mute elite skin, and as we know, it is a new rule. This is first night of gameplay, so it is understandable, but you have to wear default skins in comp play. So we'll get a rehost here, get everybody back in the lobby,
Locate and defuse bombs.
and get it going again.
That delay as we go ahead and rehost here. We'll go ahead and throw it over just to a very, very quick break as we wait for this rehost to happen. All right.
And we're back.
We are, and we're going to go ahead and kick it off here. Again, here, Amarok versus Molecular. Had a little bit of a delay there. Apologize for that, as we did have here an elite skin being played that is not allowed in the league. As we mentioned before, very understandable, as it is Playday #1 for Eastern Conference. So we just go ahead and the team did have to, unfortunately, use their rehost, so they will not be able to rehost for their team any longer. And
which is always rough to have happen, because you could have a DC, you never know what could happen, and now they're just kind of, possibly hurt themselves there.
definitely, we see the observer here, Mr. Ghost, telling Molecular that is their only rehost now being used. Here, Amarok now the only one allowed to use a rehost here in case one of their operators gets DC'd. Hopefully that does not happen, and we can continue on with this game.
But I mean, it's not the first time it's happened. In Playday, Monday night in the Western Conference, my team did it. And, I should have been the one to bring it up and say, hey, don't do it. I didn't realize it until mid-game.
We all know it was Show's fault. We all agreed upon that.
Captain, I should have said.
All right. We're getting underway here as we're going to see Molecular now up 0-1 as they won that last round. Now going into here into the, remind me, is bar and games, and I believe, what is the other, drawing a blank here, Show?
That one. Yep. That
All
one right
right
there. The
We're
room
both
with the lights.
drawing a blank. Aviator room is what it is. Thank you, Mr. Observer, for observing somebody that was inside the room. Shout out to Ghost on that one. We're kind of having a little bit of a brain fart here. But we'll go ahead and see them into games. In Aviator room here, Molecular, like I said before, now up 0-1 against this Amarok attacking side. And the round is now underway. Hoping to see them drones come out. Amarok definitely needs to make some adjustments here in their ability to push the site and push those roamers a little bit quicker than they did. Definitely making those last-minute plays is kind of what hurt them on the last one. Molecular was able to stop that last-minute push.
Yeah, they look really good there. I feel like Villa is also one of those very heavy defensive sided maps. Kind of plays similar to Clubhouse in that value. But it's the same thing. You could see a full 0-6 swing here, and then it goes back a full 0-6 to go 6-6, and it's a tie. I mean, it's very possible with this map. It is not attacker friendly whatsoever. So I look forward to seeing what Amarok here pulls out and tries to swing this into their favor. But you see here again, we're halfway through the round and not nearly a gunfight has popped off. No one has taken damage. No one has seen anybody. And as I say that, there might be an exchange. And there is. As Habana falls off her rope, breaks her neck.
Oh, and there's a couple going on here as Snake's going to find two onto Molecular here. Now, Barry and Krill going down, getting traded out here for that Habana. Now we see Peekers and Slinky there, as well as Snake, still having some drones in their pocket. A minute left to play in the round. Still able to throw out those drones, still able to drone somebody out. And we'll see if Gridlock's going to find that Bandit behind the wall here. Bandit just holding his angle, not peeking out. He knows he's got time on his side. As you mentioned, very defender-heavy map here. Amarok's going to have to do something to push this defense out of the spots that they're sitting in.
Absolutely. As Bandit's kind of sitting there playing the default plant spot. You see a grenade go in and it picks up.
And that
Kelly
is going to be Bandit.
as he finds a way to get
Suku now planting the bomb, And they're going to find Maestro trying to peek out. Slinky now taking him down. And that's Silver left from Molecular just to play. But he was going to go ahead and take the SMG-11 and say, good night, Mr. Snake from Amarok. But Slinky will find Silver trying to come around from the hallway. And he'll be prone underneath that desk. And he'll go ahead and secure that first round for Amarok.
I tell you what, that was a beautiful shot there by the smoke, by Silver. He read that man a bedtime story and put him to bed, but he couldn't quite pull it all together there as he had that cheeky angle held there on the other side of that desk, and it just stopped him dead in his tracks. So we roll over here into round 3, and we have your same setup as they had before on the attack, minus they swapped, and then they picked 6, and they threw me all off, and now we're back to the Ying. This is a caster's nightmare. I wish they'd make their minds up. So now the defensive team here. Ooh, that was a whole tongue twister, almost. So the defensive team comes back out here. They have brought about the same setup they had before. They were almost successful there. They lost some one-on-ones there that could have swayed it back into a 2-0 here, but Amarok leveled it out to 1-1. You see kind of the basic setup here for this map. Minus that rotate there into 90 hallway behind bar. Usually you see that reinforced, but I would believe they'd probably put a shield there for those quick rotates into that front room there with that front balcony door when they come in to push the wall. You see Doc playing back there in the 90 hallway there outside of that window in the 90 hallway. And other than that, it's kind of a basic setup. You have your classical hall there, your reinforcement back here on the landing and red stairs, and your rotates in between aviator and games.
We're going to see, actually, notice last round there, that Link now playing the Maestro did have a cam out there on 90, just in case the 90 default cam got taken out. Looks like he's probably opted to put it in a different place, and he has. There's now most Maestro cams are watching kind of the site more closely here. We're going to see Peeker swing in as the sledge. Now making some forward movement here on into the building, opting to not quite drone as much. Maybe they were doing a little bit too much droning. Who knows? And we'll see Doc try to peek out and not find any of the Amarok players here just about. They're trying to make some forward momentum quicker into here as we now have 2 minutes left to play and there's already some shots fired. Amarok trying to make those adjustments as we mentioned.
So you see some drone work coming in here, try to gather some intel. Doc hasn't moved much out of that 90 spot. He held that spot earlier in the last round and kind of got fragged there and got picked as he rotates back in the room. Don't want no part of Habana there on that window. You see some pressure into 90 there by Yink and Habana on that window. So that's kind of, they got Doc out of there. You want to know part of that.
It's like now pushing the site and trying to make that push on the site. They have full control of the 90. Amarok still all 5 players as well as Molecular here. And Sledge throwing that same grenade, trying to bounce it off of the pillar, wooden pillar there. Does not get anybody this time. Soku now planting the bomb once again. Will he be able to get it off on that gridlock? Fires going out. Diffusers now planted, but both teams have all 5 members, and just like I said, Slinky finds one. Very finds Neo onto Amarok. Slinky now finding his second for the round onto Link. The defuse did almost go off, but Amarok now denying anything, and that will be a second round for Amarok as Slinky is going to, it looks like, pick up a 3K here on the round to kill the bandit and round that out for Amarok.
I tell you what, you don't see full 5e5 stack plants go down very often, especially at this level of play. You know, that Ying and Gridlock and the smokes just really helped solidify that push in because you got those gridlocks all around the door and all around the rotate into games, and there's nothing they can do to push up and stop the diffuse.
Definitely looks like we're going to see the same members here for the Amarok team. They looks like they found their momentum here versus Molecular, so they're going to go ahead and stick with those operators. As looks like Molecular is going to switch off from the Maestro. Now it looks like opting to bring a mute instead.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the drop. They realized they were getting drone heavy, super heavy. So they probably brought that mute in there to try to, solidify some of their places they're sitting at. Because that's how they ate that grenade earlier in that corner and kind of have some drone denial. You see on the other side of things, on the attacker side, they're kind of swinging the same way they did before, minus dropping that Ying for an IQ. Which we all know IQ is very important to sniffing out those Valkyrie cameras and other utilities from underneath.
Definitely. IQ is a player, an operator that you definitely want to have one of your players on. As you mentioned, getting those Valkyrie cams is one of the biggest things, but also those mute jammers, any Maestro cams, spotting maybe even a Pulse playing downstairs. We don't see that right now, but she's definitely good for those kind of things, and it can really make or break an attacking round for a team.
Which is kind of odd. You usually see Pulse played really heavily on this map. His underneath presence is very detrimental to any pushes. Had they had a Pulse last round, they probably could have stopped that defusal from going down and actually caused a lot of damage to Amarok's push there. I'd like to see them kind of sway towards a Pulse here in the future defensive rounds here, especially when they go back to that OBJ. I just feel like that'd be a really good move for them to do.
Definitely, but Molecular is going to have to find something, as now it's still early on the game, but now Amarok up to 1 here, kind of swaying that momentum in a defender-sided map. Here, Amarok not taking any chances. They're taking the gunfights that they need to, it looks like. Here we see Peekers doing what he does, as I mentioned before, peeking, kind of trying to find just an early pick. Here, a minute 15 left to play, and Amarok has kind of made their forward momentum, but has not been able to push into sight thus far, as Smoke will go ahead and send off a couple of those gas charges out into the Amarok spread. Here, just under a minute left. Still 5 on the board. Slinky now getting taken down. Slinky now taking down Very here for Molecular. And Snake going to find one onto Silver there. There's 2 Molecular players down. Now the plant now going down from Soku again, but Peekers is going to find his teammate, unfortunately. But he'll go ahead and redeem himself by taking down Kelly. Now, Molecular Krill, only one left to play, is trying to find that IQ, but IQ is just able to push up and take down Krill, now furthering the gap for Amarok as they go 3-1 on this map.
Not to mention 3-1 from the attacker side point of things. So they're putting out a stellar performance so far. Molecular needs to find something within and start winning these ones, and because they keep finding themselves losing in single gunfights and losing in they don't have very many roamers. They have a lot of OBJ presence, so they cleared all those roamers for the first minute and a half. They got a full 5 stack picking you off one by one out of OBJ. I'd like to see some some flanks going on, some roamers, and just some overall map presence, because right now they just have OBJ presence, and Amarok's just walking in and walking over top of them right now.
Definitely. We don't see the Pulse being played, as we mentioned, still opting to go for that mute and that Jaeger there, trying to hopefully just Molecular's thinking we can play the same ops, maybe just adjust a little bit, maybe put some people in some different spots. But they're going to go ahead and stick with that same lineup. Looks like just as well as Amarok now. Still taking that IQ, as we mentioned, was definitely definitely a good operator to have, like I mentioned, but also for the G8 that IQ brings to the table. We saw her bring it last round, but it looks like Snake is going to now opt for the Commando this time in this kind of a situation. I'm saying maybe this Commando is going to work a little bit better for me. So we're going to see that. And Molecular definitely needs some adjustment on this defense.
You see that they spend all their time outside droning. Then they drone one in, they go in, etc. Then they just clear everything out, but there's nothing to clear out because Molecular is not playing away from OBJ at all. So after you get that cleared out, you know there's nobody there. You set up your rotate drones and flank drones, and you know you're good. And you sit there and hold angles, pick off OBJ, and they get a little basic there. As you see, they get a little roam pressure in there, and they get a pick there onto Sledge to start off the round there. A lot earlier than we've had exchanges so far this entire game.
Oh, and there's going to be Snake finding Jaeger. Jaeger's trying to rotate down after taking down the Sledge. Doesn't know that Snake there with IQ is waiting for him to rotate down. And he'll go ahead and trade off and make it now even spread here across the board with only 4 players left to play. IQ now using that ability to be able to take out those ADSs, making sure that her team has the ability to use those off charges, use those gridlock mines, use whatever utility they need to push out this Molecular team. Zophia's gonna try to find their. That's gonna be Kelly there on the mute. He's gonna throw out a C4, but not quite connect with the Zofia. Smoke now throwing out some gas charges, trying to just hold Amarok back. And that's with under a minute left to play. He's just going to chill back there, trying to hold. There's the gridlocks now going out now that the ADSs are gone from that IQ. There, Kelly's still playing behind the statue here in there, but he's going to go ahead and find Gridlock. He's going to miss her twice, but get the knife off. Find the Zofia, take down the Zofia, finding a double kill there. Kelly with the shotgun, and that's going to be a very good play there by Kelly. Snake now finding one onto the Molecular team, but Kelly's going to find a third. That's a triple kill with the shotgun. Snake now being the only one left to play for this Amarok team, as he's now up against 3 players. But he's able to find Kelly playing behind the statue, knows he's there now, knows he's been called out. We do have some pings here going on, but unfortunately will not be able to find any of the rest of the Molecular players. Molecular adjusting well to this defense, playing back and securing another round for their team.
Yeah, that was a very impressive hold there for Molecular. They finally, I've been telling you, it's like they're listening. They got some roam presence in there. They started getting them on the flanks and got an early pick there on Sledge, and that kind of like changed the whole aura of the round. They were just kind of sitting ducks in OBJ the first couple rounds, and you know that's why they lost, because Amarok didn't do anything different on that push. They held the same angles, they pushed the same way, but you know it didn't work out in their favor that time.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
So you see here at the start of round 6, as it is 3-2, Amarok Esports. Amarok opts to bring Montaigne into the battlefield here today. As you see the Gridlock, IQ, Habana, and Zofia. So everything is still the same on Amarok's side, minus that Montaigne. As we all know, Montaigne is a pain in the butt. Unless you have Oryx, which we can't play Oryx in this league. On the other side of things, you have Wame, Castle, Smoke, Bandit, and Jaeger. So you have that double denial. As you see here, too, as our lovely observer brought up the scoreboard, it's pretty even on the side of Molecular. And then you have some top fraggers there for Amarok that is packing the heat.
Definitely here. It's going to see kind of the same setup here from, they're from Molecular here into Games Aviator Room. And we're going to go ahead and see that Monty that you mentioned before. Definitely looks like they're trying to just going to go ahead and push here heavy into sight, maybe try to get that plant down right away, secure that 4-2 split for Amarok before it pushes into the half, and then they switch on defense. As we mentioned, a defender-heavy map, they definitely want to, if they can get that 4-2 split, it's definitely going to be in Amarok's favor as they move into the half and start defending here. IQ now underneath again, finding those ADSs that Jaeger has put down. Bandit trying to rip a C4 here. He's going to go ahead and opt to hold it onto the Monty, not thinking that he might be able to get the kill. And we'll have Amarok just kind of chilling back. Monty seems to be the only one that's made himself known there inside the building. He kind of just taunts there. Now, very finding Snake, though, from Amarok. Don't know exactly where that gunfight took place. But member of Amarok now down. Monty still making his presence known in the doorway. As some more members of Amarok push through. Slinky making his presence known outside the building as he'll go ahead and take down the first member of Molecular. Soku finding Very now taking down another member of Molecular. There is going to be Soku pushing through to the Monty. Monty's going to go ahead and ultimately take the kill, and that will be Molecular now down to only 2 players left. Soku on that hardcore plant. We've been seeing him plant all night on this Molecular team, and he's going to go ahead and get his 4th successful plant off. Silver's now going to find Soku, who had just planted the bomb, still strong on the SMG-11 here. We're going to find Smoke now being taken down by Neo. Omai taking down the castle barricade, trying to push in to find any players that he can. Monty now going to block off the doorway, and not sure if that's going to be a smart play by Wamai. It will end up not being, as Neo will find the last remaining member of Molecular to secure a 4-2 split that they needed to push into defense.
Yeah, that was a really good push there by Amarok. I liked how they used Montaigne for what Montaigne is best at, a human drone. He went in the OBJ, walked around, you can't shoot me, and was like, hey, Bandit's right here. Came in, lit him up. There's no better drone than that. You can't destroy that drone. You can't shoot it. You can't blow it up with impacts. There's nothing you can do besides get called out and then take bullets to the forehead. It was a wonderful pickup and a great idea there by Amarok.
Definitely what they needed to secure that split. Now it looks like Neo going to try to fake the Maestro there. We'll switch off to the Wamai.
Now, the more and more I watch, Wamai is super important and super useful to the overall denial. I mean, you get 3 Jaegers, and they destroy 2 things each, and I think you get like 5 of those things over time, kind of like Legion. So, I mean, there's just, you ain't gonna get no grenades in there, no flashbangs. He's gonna take away the entire enemy team's accessories, everything. He's kind of just, you can't go wrong with having him in your strat and in your lineup.
Definitely.
You see here, you see some Valkyrie cams getting thrown out, some good Valk plays. We're going with the Mute Jaeger, Valk, Wamai, Castle for those denials, which they have a sledge, so those castles won't stand a chance to sledge. To flip it around to the attacker's side, you see Zofia, Thermite, Buck, IQ, and before mentioned Sledge or Rooney. They have a great push here with this idea. You got Zofia that's going to knock her out. That can take away those castles. Sledge will take away those castles. I mean, there's just a whole lot of room destroying ability here in this attacking team. as you can tell, as you see, they're throwing out. They're getting their drones. They're grabbing their intel right now. Valkyrie's still out doing what she does best and got all of her cameras out, making her way back to OBJ. You see Lamai holding the connector there in between the two OBJs. Molecular getting their drones out. IQ already in the building. It's nice to see an attacking team making it inside the building as 2 minutes ticks and not still droning with 50 seconds left. Sledge has made his way up to 90 hallway. He has already taken out the 90 camp. As he is pushing his way up, checking for standard Valkyrie cams. Takes out that Sledge, as for mentioned. They don't stand a chance.
Oh, but he's going to go ahead and peek, and unfortunately, Slinky, for him, is going to go ahead and find him and take out a very beautiful shot there, now taking down Very from Molecular.
It was almost like he just ran directly into that pre-fire. It's kind of like, hey, there's bullets, let's jump at them.
Silver now finding one onto Snake. Krill going to find Slinky, going to go ahead and trade off for his teammate. Now a 3v4 in Molecular's favor, now on the attacking side. And we'll go ahead and see what Amarok can do. They will return fire as Soku is going to find Kelly now on the IQ, one of the best operators to find in this game. But now Link is going to go down as Neo finds Krill. Link still planting the bomb as one of the only two attacking operators still standing. He's going to go down. Soku is going to find him. Silver now the only one left to play. It's now a 3v1. What will he do? He has to find that Jaeger as the Jaeger's now defusing, but it won't matter because the Wamai will come down the stairs as well as the smoke, taking down the last member of Molecular, and Soku will defuse.
That was a very well executed defensive play there. The plane got down. They sniffed out the opponent. They landed their shots. They won those gunfights, and then get the defusal underway. Like I said before, it was so important for Molecular to jump ahead on defense on this map, and they kind of fell to the wayside of that. So moving in that split, Amarok was in the driver's seat. And it looks like they done downshifted into fifth gear, and they're hammering on that throttle. I'd like to see Molecular come up here and throw on that e-brake and stop them dead in their tracks and bring this back to a 5-5. I would really like to see some fight out of Molecular right now. They need to get a little bit more unified together on their pushes, get a little bit more intel gathered on their drones, because I feel like they were kind of running around a little bit and weren't entirely knowledgeable on where the enemy team was.
Definitely, we're not going to actually see Amarok utilizing that pulse, as neither of the teams have gone down here, but they're going to go ahead and go down into that kitchen and opt for the castle again instead. Here now cutting off any of those rotations and gathering that intel with Valk, as we see here throw one there into the main hallway. Now another one on top of red stairs right onto the chandelier. And that's going to go ahead and be able to look out and find anybody that's going to be pushing down that red stairs. Might even see all the way down through 90 as well. I'm going to go ahead and give Valk the intel she needs. We watch Zofia not wasting any time, pushing right into that mudroom there. And now going to try to make some forward momentum for Molecular, as they're not wasting any time. Like I said here, still over 2 minutes left on the board to play. And they're going to need to adjust to this Amarok defense if they want to stop Amarok from coming up with match point here as they try to close the gap. Here, Sledge, you see Sledge downstairs there, as he's going to probably work up those red stairs, trying to cut off any of the rotations. But will he see that Valk cam? Now Thermite fully into sight as now Molecular is pushed into sight. Slinky but is going to find the first one, but Link is now planting the bomb. He'll get downed, and unfortunately the bomb will not be able to get planted as Peeker's going to find one, and now a lot of gunfights going off as most of the members from Molecular and 2 members from Amarok will go down, bringing it to a 2v3 situation. No longer planted, and Amarok's going to find Kelly there. Now, the only one left to play for his Molecular team. Will he be able to get the plant off for his team? He's got over a minute left to drone it out, talk with his team, figure out kind of what they did wrong, and push in with this bomb site. But he's not going to be able to, as Slinky is going to find Very. And unfortunately, that's going to be match point. Unfortunate for Molecular.
So they didn't really change up anything between those 2 rounds. They kind of had the same thought processes and same tactic in their attack, and it ended in the same result. They really have to dig deep and figure something out, and adjust on the fly here and figure out a way to slow down this Amarok team, or it's going to be a quick 7-2 for them.
Definitely hoping to see Molecular kind of come back here from this and close the gap a little bit on this Amarok team. Hopefully see a little bit of adjustment from them. Trying to make this a closer game. But a lot of people being banned by Battle Eye. Looks like Ubisoft is not having it tonight.
That's what I was saying. Holy ban wave. That is ridiculous.
And Amarok, as we get back here, apologize for that. But Amarok now on match point. 6-2 against this Molecular attacking team. And they're going to opt to go down into the first floor as they work into that kind of vault area there. They have a vault there in art room and in library. And
I would really like to see Molecular kind of string together like what was it Slade did earlier? Where they were down and out, and I think they were down 6-3. And they brought it back 6-6 for the tie. So I mean, it's doable. We've seen it done tonight, and
definitely is.
I can see that bounce back, man. They figured out what they were doing wrong. They made an adjustment on the fly, and I believe Molecular can do it too. It's a tall task. Amarok is in the driver's seat, full steam ahead. But I believe Molecular can pull it together here and bring it back.
Definitely, and the ability to adjust there on the fly will really make or break a good team, and it'll make or break a competitive team. There, that ability to adjust on the fly is definitely an asset skill that you want to have on your side. Like you mentioned, team was able to bring it back there to tie up the game 6-6 after being down a 4-round deficit. So we'll see how Molecular does in that. Definitely hoping to see some more strong gameplay from Molecular.
Absolutely. That's where it comes into play of having a real strong IGL, where he can pick up on those things like, hey, okay, they're doing this and this. Maybe this will work. Hey, guys, try this. That's where the IGL and that team captain come in, so heavy and important when it comes to comp play. But then now we're back here to where we are halfway through this round, almost down to a minute, and there has not been a single gunfight. And then now I was wrong
Just
again.
as you say that, Link now being downed here from one of the members of Amarok. And it almost seems every time you say something, now Snake going down to Silver. Snake being played on that Maestro as he'll find one. Slinky now finding another one. Very still down by Sledge there. Sledge is now downed. Will Amarok find that one? Nope. It looks like Molecular will come to the rescue as Zofia will be able to pick up her teammate. and bringing it back to a 3v5.
I'm pretty sure every time tonight I've mentioned no gunfights. A darn gunfight has happened.
Yeah, and that's usually how it goes. Just as quickly as the action is not happening, it can happen as Krill will find one onto Soku, Snake finding one onto Very, Peekers finding one onto Kelly, and that's going to bring it to 3v1, but Maestro's going to peek around the corner, taking out that last remaining member. And unfortunately, Molecular not able to adjust to Amarok's defense and or their offense, as Amarok's going to take it against Molecular 7-2 there, and the GGs come out in chat. Good job, Amarok. GGs to both teams.
It was a very dominant performance here by Amarok. And it kind of goes into, I mean, the poll that we had out there on Twitter had Amarok at an 87% favorite to win this game. And those people were right. Amarok came out strong. Amarok came out ready. Amarok hit hard, fast, and quick. And Molecular didn't have much to answer for it. I would just like to see Amarok, take it on the chin, dust themselves off, get back up, come back next game day with an adjusted attitude, an adjusted game plan, and come back stronger.
Definitely, and I think that's actually going to be our last game of the night. We appreciate to all the viewers who were